Hey guys, welcome to the Atlanteans episode 30 on this special episode. My name's Jay. I'm here with Alec and Joe. How you guys doing?
Hi, I'm doing awesome. How are you doing, Joe?
It's a momentous day.
Yep.
Mark 4.5 is upon us. I almost feel like it's
Ugh.
really Mark 5. I
It's
mean, I
Mark
know
5.
it feels like tedious branding, but Mark 5 came and
Yeah,
it appeared on a Wednesday,
absolutely.
6 days before it was supposed to be born, but it's here.
Absolutely. I agree.
And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, Joe and I played a game today just to sort of we were planning to play a game, and then this update happened. We were going to try a couple of the new update stuff, and it really does. I mean, it's the same game. We're playing the same game. That they haven't changed the rules, but it does feel a lot different. You agree with that, Joe?
Yeah, I'm really glad we played it. It
Yeah.
made me feel a little bit better about everything. It's hard, there's a lot of nerfs in this. Kind of gets in your head, right?
Right.
But seeing my models on the table, they still look awesome. Jay's looked awesome. We had some cool moments.
Yep.
It's still Warmachine. You know.
Now, what armies did you guys both play?
I played Winter Corp. I played basically the Annihilator cadre plus some other stuff. And
Yeah,
Joe,
it's pretty sweet.
yeah,
I played Shadow Tongue with an Abyssal King and a bunch of random dudes that I'd painted recently.
yeah,
That was my goal. So I wanted to play all the models I'd painted recently, and
yeah.
I did that. So
And I've been painting
I
Annihilator
have a question
cadre.
for you about
Yep.
ShadowCon.
Go ahead.
Did you get the mini crate Shadow Tongue?
oh, I'm so glad you asked because there's one thing I say about the mini crate Shadow Tongue, and I haven't said it on the podcast yet.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Have you looked at the model, Alec?
I haven't. They actually didn't send me it, so I need to go and request it because it
Ooh.
went to the wrong address for some reason. And
Alec
I was
got
going to
one.
ask you if you wanted me to send you one.
He does.
So I would be interested. I think he's a totally dope model. I laugh at him a little bit because he has abs up to his neck. They didn't sculpt pecs for him. He just has like a 12 pack and it goes from his belly button all the way to his neck.
It does.
It's incredible.
we had this discussion on during Word Table, and he showed it to me, and I can't not see it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I like the model in general. I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
That part I would either cover up or sculpt a little bit so that we don't have that special feature.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the pose in general. It seems fun to paint. I love where his bird is positioned. Yeah, big fan of it. Sans abs. Yeah.
Okay. I will then when I get the model, I will send it to you.
Awesome. I also think he got one of the best updates
He did.
in Black Bloods. So really happy about that.
I don't know. I think
Right.
I think a lot of your casters got really great updates. Like I think Ragemonger, while they did power down some of his the overall army power, I think he's a lot more interesting and thematic. I think
Yeah.
Firequill, while he did cool things, I think he's a lot more interesting, and he has a unique thing that nobody
Well,
else
I'm really
seems to
excited
have.
about him. I'm really excited about Firequill. The
Yeah.
thing I love about Shadow Tongue's update is they gave him like its flavor.
Yeah.
Like I think they
Well,
nailed the theme of him, and that's going to be
and
he's just going to tell a good story on the table.
they took away like the biggest weakness in Warmachine. Most of your models aren't living anymore.
I know, right? It's been true forever that living is the worst thing to be, and most
Yeah.
models are living.
Yeah.
And all his warrior models are undead, so he brings a full pirate crew along with him,
Yep.
and
Ooh,
that like
hold on.
fits
What
his
about-
fluff. That fits his fluff to a T, right? So I think it's just awesome.
What about when you go against Gravediggers?
Do you guys kill undead really good? Oh yeah, you have Cynthia
Yeah.
Roscoe. She hates that shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and she gives it to others, doesn't she? Or actually, maybe I don't know if she still has that, but I
Yeah,
thought she
I don't
gives
know.
it to others,
Well,
and that
we
could
can
make
look.
it.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Let's
gonna create some list chicken, right? Like,
see.
it's
Yeah.
And I like list chicken though.
list
Yeah.
chicken's back, baby.
I
It's
mean,
that's the newest Mark V. List chicken's on the menu.
I mean, who would have thought the
Hey.
list that I played against you today was effectively list chicken against Shadow Tongue,
Yeah, I mean,
and it was effectively.
yeah, I mean, all the you turned off Sakura's feet turns off all the pulls that Shadow Tongue can do.
Well, no, just the
And-
armies, the nature of the army turns off all the pulls. They all are steady
yeah.
and sturdy. Yeah. So
And
for those
it was really nice. It was really solid.
for those that are wondering, I basically played minus the avalanches. I played the full FA or close to the full FA of the Annihilator Cadre. I played Sakura. I played Sergeant Kroll and a controller, 2 units of Wrecking Crew, 1 unit of the suppressors, Behemoth, a dire Wolf, and then some support solos and arcanists. And so the drawback of the army is it's all like defense 10, threat 10, effectively. The plus of the army is there are so many wounds, there's so much vengeance, there's just so much like stacking, shooting, and craziness that if you can survive through the levels of the enemy army coming at you, you can actually do quite a bit of work. And I was surprised at how survivable the army. I mean, when he engaged me, he basically killed like 2 or 3 of the Wrecking Crew, but then the rest of the army sort of came back and did things. And I think if I was to put a little bit of if I was to find points for Alexia somewhere in there, so I could bring some guys back, maybe she'd be worth it. I don't know.
Oh, you can bring guys back? That would have been that would have been so money because I didn't kill full units really. I was like nickel and diming you, right? Like whatever I could get.
She can bring guys back both by casting a spell and by killing enemy models. And so you can like kill an enemy model, bring a guy back, and then I think you can bring like 2 guys back a turn if you do it that way. So
Jay, she needs to be in that list.
I think she got
like what that needs.
I think she got a point cheaper. I'll look she got a point cheaper, I think, and she went up to 8 damage boxes. So yeah, so there's some playability there with her.
She went to 3 points.
She was 5. I think she went to 4.
Okay, awesome.
So let's see.
So who wants to go first? Pick faction. Tell us about it.
Let's talk about. So I think pretty much we're each going to sort of stick to our faction and talk about the armies that we play and sort of the stuff we're interested in the armies that we play. And then if there's something that we want to sort of gel over, like I think it'd be cool to talk about the Mercs because they got some interesting changes. The Mark IV Merc stuff.
Yeah, I want to touch on both the Scorn factions briefly if there's time, but
yeah.
I can do it pretty fast.
Well, why don't you go first, man?
Okay. I mean, should I talk about Brian's?
Talk about Brian's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about Brian's. Okay, so big picture. We know that all the non-flying Brian's gamed amphibious, and that's really important for the faction one because it has a couple ways to make water. The Deepborn Dire Troll can make water, so can the Shamans, and that lets our faction give concealment to all of our models, which helps with our survivability against ranged, which is really important because Rough Seas isn't on the rack anymore, and so hopefully that improves our deliverability. Of course, you got to plan for it in the list making stage. There's not usually a lot of water on tournament tables, but we can bring our own.
I mean, Broomhowler did get Rough Seas.
Yeah. Broomhowler has Rough Seas, but there are lots of casters who don't have it. So,
yep, absolutely.
So that's one change. A change that wasn't foreshadowed is that all the pigs lost tough. So across the board, all the pig units lost tough. Mm-hmm. Not a huge deal in my mind, but something that happened. We lost both sources of inspiration. So the Tapper doesn't give inspiration anymore, and neither does the Pig Coxswain.
Yeah. All the flags and stuff lost it as well. So I think all the attachments lost it.
Yeah, it seems across the game they got rid of inspiration.
Yep.
We across the game or across this army, models lost gang. I don't know if any models still have it in the game. Maybe some do, but the Marauder crew.
Everything lost gang. I think that's a skill or a thing that they're just getting rid of.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I mean, I almost would have rather they dropped a mat and kept gang.
So gang fighter. So there's gang fighter still in the game. Some of the like the Umbri stuff still has it. And it
Okay.
just adds to damage. It doesn't add to hit anymore.
Yeah, they seems they're really serious about
Yep.
really curtailing the mat and rat values. So gang's totally gone. Interestingly, the we also lost prey on the fire spitters. So I'm not sure if prey was removed across the game. It feels like such a fluffy ability. It's kind of a shame, really.
Mhm.
It's quite a high skill ability, or an ability that has a lot of counterplay. But yeah, so prey was lost in the faction too. So those are like kind of the bad things at a high level. Of course, across the board, things, you know, if you're just sort of like a melee warrior, you became Mat 6. If you're not a melee warrior, you became Mat 5. And I think rat of basically everything dropped by 1. So most of the rats are now 5 in the faction.
Mhm.
And that's like kind of consistent with what they foreshadowed for us. But it means, between losing gang and inspiration, the Marauder crew with a tapper lost like 3 mat. Uh, the fire spitters lost a rat, and they also lost prey. So in some situations, they lost 3 rat. So those are just some of the changes.
Mhm.
So I want to talk through some of the good things from the units. Let's see. Let me choose a unit. So the Abyssal King. Uh, he lost Paralyzing Gaze, or the option to get Awe, which would give him +2 defense. Um, there's a new ability called Exigent in replacement of Awe, but I think which is enemy models engaged with a model with Exigent suffer -2 to attack rolls when attacking models without Exigent.
Very
And
bizarre.
it's very hard for me to imagine that coming up often, so I'm going to kind of ignore that it exists. But on the other hand, the Abyssal King got Arm 20 base, which is really big, especially he can get Inviolable Resolve as an Animus, going up to 22 against
It was
melee.
it was rough today.
Yeah, I
Didn't
really
he get
appreciated that today.
a point drop too? Like, didn't
He did,
something like one of the heads drop in points?
no, none of the heads dropped in points, but you probably play the Paralyzing the Chomper head now, which gives you Eyeless Sight, which is really good on a gun platform and not something we had access to as a faction otherwise. So, I think mixed changes for the Abyssal King, but I think we're still really interested in playing him. Other units that got interesting changes. The Deepborn Dire Troll was talked about in the community updates as getting from Arm 18 to 19, but mostly that just meant the Minnow head went from Arm 18 to 19. The other two fins are the same. I think the coolest changes here, one, the Squid Blaster melee weapon went from range 2 to range 3. And that increases the melee threat range of the Deepborn Dire Troll to 11 inches. Now you have to hit when you land that squid to pull them in 3 inches,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's still, a very welcome benefit. I've liked the Lunker fin a lot, and that gives Pathfinder now, and trolls are actually pretty bad at Pathfinder, so I think the Lunker is pretty welcome. And in general, the Crab Net is like the hand that gives a knockdown. And, in this new, like, sort of lower mat, like maybe substantially lower mat meta for trolls, or they often lost 2 to 3 points of mat.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to knock down, especially with an AoE, is really welcome. So I'm pretty excited about that. What are other cool things? We got access to Kruger. He's a little bit cheaper now. He's a little
Mhm.
bit worse. But I mean, he's still a pretty powerful model, and he's a dope sculpt, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Mhm.
Uh, First mate Harger Stormjaw had, the traditional, like, his mat dropped by 1, his rat dropped by 1, but he still has veteran leader, and I can imagine that that's going to be really important now.
It is.
when he's like sort of your main source of map buffs for trolls.
I mean, you saw in the game today with the Manowar, that crawl gaining veteran leader for that was super helpful. And as soon as you got rid of crawl, I basically stopped hitting you.
Yeah, it was really impactful.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I didn't see Stormjaw on a ton of lists, but I can imagine he's going to become, much more of a staple. He's
Mhm.
also defense 14, which is better than it's ever been, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, totally.
so I can imagine playing him quite a bit. I'm really excited about the Lakabash brothers. So I'll read you their
That got
changes.
way better.
Yeah, they got way different, but
they're
in a
weird.
way that like I totally agree with.
They're
Okay,
weird.
so I'll read you the update. They cut gang, they
Mhm.
cut sidestep, they cut dual attack, they cut relentless charge. So they lost 4 abilities. They gained assault, which is the ability to shoot before you charge, which is fine. But the most important
After
thing is they
moving, but
gained.
before making the attack with charge. Yeah.
Oh, it's after moving, but before making the attack. Wow, it's
Yeah.
even worse than I thought.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
you
no.
could. I thought it was like hog.
Charge, you can still shoot. If
Yeah,
you
yeah, but-
fail your charge, you still shoot now.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
big
interesting.
difference.
Okay. I clearly have some learning to do with how to like take advantage of that, right?
Yeah.
But you still have to charge the maximum distance, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you have to move at least 3
I think-
inches. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to charge. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably just the.
Yeah. You make a charge move, and then before you make your charge attack, you make a ranged attack. And you
So it's a
do it,
extender.
and you do it from the place where he is. And if you were to necessarily fail your charge, you get to shoot still before failing your charge.
Oh, interesting. So I clearly need to learn how this rule works. I mean, it'll be nice when they've got the full
Yeah, yeah.
update, you know.
Well, it's a big difference from how charge used to be, because it used to be if you failed your charge, you didn't
No.
get to shoot. Whereas now people might potentially do the assault
Yeah.
just to get that shot in.
I mean, that's how it was in Mark III. That's how charge worked in Mark III.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
not charge. You mean assault?
Assault. Yeah, that's how assault worked in Mark III.
Oh, okay. I always think of assault being how it was in.
Okay. I don't remember Mark I and Mark II, so I
Oh.
don't remember the rules for that. All right.
I do, but I remember them poorly.
Okay.
So they lost a ton of abilities, but what they gained was Unbreakable Wall. And this is a unit. This is an ability from the
the initiates.
what are they called?
The paladin initiates.
The Spears of Syra is where I know it.
Okay.
Which were a super busted unit when I started playing the game 2 years ago. Which is they get +3 armor for each unit that's base to base with them.
Each model that's
So-
in the unit. Yeah.
So now they have Sanguine Bond, so they can share damage between the units.
They have 10
And as
wounds
long as they're
apiece.
all alive and all base to base, they're defense 13, they are set defense, and they're armor 20.
with
and
10
I think
boxes and
they-
sanguine bond.
That's
Yep,
important.
and tough.
And tough.
Yeah,
That is-
no, it's
Oh,
it's super good. I think they'll be in every list that I have. They're like,
I think they're going to be in every
you
list,
know,
period. For
Trolls
Troll
don't
Bloods.
have, or Trollbloods don't have any units that are like really tough and can sit on an objective and
Yeah.
hold it, and now they do. And I think it's a great design improvement. Like before, the Lakabash brothers felt a lot like just a slightly different flavor of Marauder crew, and now they're like totally their own thing. So really excited about that. It's really excited. You know that's a great thing. The Marauder crew lost gang. They gained 2 POW on their weapon, which is good.
Mhm.
The Quartermaster lost extended fire, and they also lost the +2 to ranged attack damage rolls part of their card. In return, they got blast resistance and a point drop. I think you probably won't see Quartermasters. That's not, I think, where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tappers are still pretty good in some lists, even without inspiration. I think Bosuns are still good, but I think Quartermasters you probably won't play. Mr. Boggs got a dope new ability. One, for some reason, he gained a POW on his weapon. And now, when he shoots you, after the attack is resolved, you put a cloud where he was, and then he gets pushed backwards d3 plus 1 inches. So as long as you roll a 2, he gets pushed out of the cloud. I love that they're continuing to push this model. I played him, and sometimes he was fun, sometimes he wasn't, but I think he's still on my radar as kind of a cool model. The cinema of him is incredible, right? He shoots his gun, it creates this huge recoil, it creates this huge cloud. He gets thrown backwards, and he kept Rat 7. So Mr. Boggs is on my radar.
Mm-hmm. He sounds fun.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else I want to talk about in terms of things that are interesting.
Talk about the casters. Like what changed on the casters?
Oh yeah, I want to do all the units before I do the casters.
Okay.
Very briefly, the boarding party lost annoyance, but they went down from cost 6 to 5, and they also lost tough. So they're still, I think, pretty exciting as a 5-point unit in some lists. The Pig Shockers gained a range 2 melee attack, but it's map 5. I think you probably won't see them very much. Steamforged did some work on the Reef Troll. So it gained Lash and Amphibious. Lash prevents your warrior models that are base to base with it from being knocked down. And, in lists that play a Reef Troll, that's really welcome. You love to put that next to your caster so you don't get knocked over, right? It's just that's all positive. They also changed the chain shot explosive, which I haven't ever seen before. I've never seen anyone play this thing, but instead of rate of fire 2, it now has powerful attack, and the power of the weapon has changed from it's an AoE 2, I believe. Instead of being a 12-6, it's a 12-12. So it's a flat 12 power weapon.
With a blast 12?
With auto boosted blast damage as well.
Jeez. What weapon is this?
This is the chain shot explosive. You've never heard of it because it's terrible.
Who has it?
This is the Reef Troll.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most expensive left arm. It costs 4 points. It's only range 8, but you can snipe it to 11. A fully boosted. Oh, it's only AoE 1. POW 12 damage roll seems. I don't know. There's something there.
Yeah.
And it has crit knockdown. So, the full boosting is pretty welcome.
Yep.
It's a thing I'll be thinking about because, it's a pretty darn good gun. Even if it's short range, there are a lot of situations where you want a fully boosted 2 POW 12 hits. I should talk about, before I talk about the caster, the Virager lost a point of POW. I was pretty sure it would get a nerf. That's the most gentle thing I could imagine.
You're not going to take them anymore then?
No, they're still great. And in fact, the faction, more than ever, the faction seems designed around you having access to Viragers. So I think they're probably better than they ever were. The Surgeon gained the ability Walk It Off, which lets you stand up a unit and remove continuous effects on it. Stand up being really important in a faction like Trolls. So I could see that playing more of those. Privateer Press did I've done that a couple of times now. Steamforged Games did a really weird thing with the Spirit Shamans and the Totem. It seems like they didn't like the Totem's big aura of magic weapons, so they removed that and made it a channeler. They also gave it kind of a craft talisman aura. I think you probably don't play it anymore. It's good for giving buffs to your own people, but it no longer contests scenarios.
I mean,
It,
I think
yeah.
the if you have the points left over for like Shadow Tongue, I think kind of how you were talking today with JD during the game, where
Yeah.
like you like put it in your backfield and you can use it to pass spells around and stuff without having to do damage to your guys. Might be worth doing.
Yeah. Or if you're a buff caster, right?
Yeah,
Then it
yeah,
gets like kind of exciting.
right.
So it's not terrible, but I think it's pretty low excitement. The spirit shamans lost craft talisman, and like now the totem has like a craft talisman aura, and they gained sigils of power, which lets you give magic weapons to a model, if I'm right. Is that right? This is the thing the necrosurgeon has.
Sigils of Power, you said is what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Sigils of Power, and I believe it's on the necrosurgeon initiates.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's not. This is great radio. Maybe it's on the Scarlock Lieutenant. Yeah,
I mean,
Sigil of
I'll cut
Power.
this stuff.
Target friendly model unit gains magic weapons. So it's nice that it's that it's unit. Like, I think that's pretty good. This is like Spirit Shamans. They're your source of water, which activates Amphibious. They're your source of magic weapons. So I think they'll see a lot of lists. They already did, but they're still quite good. So if we have time, so I should talk about the casters, right?
Yep,
Now that I've
absolutely.
done all the units.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with
Your
just
favorite,
pulling up the old cards.
or are you gonna do your? Are you gonna save?
You know, they did my favorite dirty. We're gonna talk about him last.
Okay.
I want to focus on the things that are cool, and I think
Update
that
stuff. Okay.
that he didn't get cool. So Boom Howler gained Rough Seas, which is the sort of it's
Roll an extra
Starcrossed
die,
for
drop
range attacks.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's annoying as all get out.
She gained Perdition, and she gained Onslaught, which is Pathfinder for models beginning charges in your control area. I think it's also free charges. Is that right, Jay? Does anyone know?
Say what is it again?
Onslaught.
I'm trying to think of who has that. Sometimes I have to like look at other like factions.
I think it's
Zadesh
I don't think it's free.
has it.
I don't think it's free charges. I think it's just charges with gains Pathfinder when charging. I don't know.
The spellcaster and friendly faction models beginning in its control area gain Relentless Charge. Relentless Charge while advancing as part of this model. A charge this model gains Pathfinder. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it may just be Pathfinder. I mean, trolls really struggle with Pathfinder, where we don't have it often innate. Brinebloods don't have it much innately, so that's really welcome.
Yep.
Perdition is interesting on her. It's one of the beast ways to extend threat range. She can kind of cast it if you like. You know, she can give herself reposition 3. You can bring a totem, which can give her craft talisman. And all of a sudden she can kind of walk forward 3, cast it at range 12, repo back 3, and be probably pretty safe. So she has some skills that are helpful for delivering beasts at higher threat ranges. You know, she has Rough Seas in combination with her feet to give defense against ranged attacks. So pretty potent from those areas. She still has Tactician, which is really good. It doesn't really do anything to enhance attack or damage. So, you know, you're going to play with the stats that you have if you played Boom Howler now.
Yep.
Not too attractive to me. You can imagine needing a list pair that really handles ranged offense, and that's probably where you play her. That seems like kind of the limit to me. Which is sad. She was kind of a staple. I think she's probably a lot less attractive now. Ragemonger gained he lost Field Marshal Unyielding in favor of Field Marshal Shield Guard. Unyielding was really quite good. It helped with the armor stacking a lot. Shield Guard is also very good.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to spread the range damage amongst your foes. I mean, obviously, they've changed the focus from surviving melee to surviving ranged. It plays really good with his ability Tantrum, which is if a model in your battle group was damaged by an attack while within 5 inches of the spellcaster, you get to make a 3-inch advance.
It's basically Righteous Vengeance, but instead of having him be the only one that can make the Righteous Vengeance move, it's one model in your battle group.
Yeah.
The child has it as well.
Yep.
Oh,
And
nice.
from Grimkin.
So that's pretty sweet. They've changed his feat to only affect melee damage rolls. I think it's still really good. I know people were playing a lot of ranged attacks with him before, so obviously your list competition is going to change. He has a spell called Ravager, and I don't know what it does. I haven't been able to find that one.
I'll look it up while you keep going.
I feel like it might give Berserk or something like that, but it's one that I don't know about.
It's a spell.
Yeah, it's his new spell. He got
keep
Ravager, and he also got Star-Crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep talking, and I'll look it up.
Yeah. I think he's a lot more specific than he used to be. He wants to play a melee force. He's focused on getting across the table. When those things are good, they're really good.
When they're not, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean he's much more narrow, right? Like you're playing a caster that does a specific thing. I think that's part of their goal for Mark V, right? So, Firequill was spoiled by the Amusing Panda podcast. His new spells are he lost broadsides and he gained open fire. And I always felt like broadsides was a big trap for him. He never wants to spend 3 mana. The order of activation things are very weird. He often doesn't have that many units to shoot their guns with, so I think open fire that's a spell I racked a lot and cast more than broadside, so I'm happy about that. He got Black Spot, which is a really good spell that he's just going to absolutely struggle to cast given its range 8. No real meaningful way to do channeling. And his arcane attack 6. But that's okay. He also gained a new spell called Shellfish Bullets, which says the next enemy model hit by a ranged attack made by this model cannot score objectives, caches, or objectives for 1 round.
Insane.
And I think that ability is going to be absurd.
Oh, man,
and I'm excited to use it. Yep.
And you can keep casting it. It just costs 1. And so you use it, the enemy's your Colossal can't score points or contest anything. You shoot
they can contest. They just can't score.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's crazy.
I thought it was just
do they count as inconsequential or they just can't score?
No, they cannot score. Yeah.
Okay. I read it says they gained inconsequential, which means they couldn't contest either.
No.
So Ravager
it's still really good. Especially against units.
Yeah. So Ravager is a spell from
cohorts.
So Ravager is a spell from Butcher 2 originally. It says Warjack, but I'm sure it'll change to cohort. But it's target cohort model in spellcaster's battle group gains Berserk.
Okay.
And
that totally makes sense to me.
And they cannot make chain attacks if they have chain attacks.
Huh. So that's really cool with Ragemonger because if you take the Lunker head, or not the Lunker head, what are the names of all these heads? If you take it's the Lunker head. If you take the Lunker head, you can get a model with Overtake, and that gives you a model with Overtake and Berserk.
Yep.
So that's cool. That's going to be a dope combo. They streamlined Firequill's guns, which are cool. His so now he always has Black Penny, and he gets 3 shots, and you choose if you want Blood Boon as the shot type, Momentum is the shot type. I think that's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is flare. So if you can't momentum them, then maybe you do a flare, and it's like a spray. Actually, it doesn't say flare on it. Interesting. Okay, so he no longer flares. He just does a range 8, a spray 8, POW 12. I'm really excited to play. His feat also changed, so it does a boosted damage roll instead of +2/2. For a boosted damage roll and true sight for all models in your control area, instead of +2 to attack, to ranged attack and ranged damage rolls for all cohort models. So I think that's really good. Shellfish Bullets makes me really excited. Can't wait to play this guy. I think he's the #1 pick for me going into the new meta. I have 3 more. I want to do them really fast because I don't want to spend our whole time on Brine Bloods.
Yep.
Shadow Tongue gained Fog of War and Scything Touch, as well as making all his faction warrior models undead. And I just think it's so cool. He was already really good. Fog of War is great. This faction has a lot of prowl, so it'll turn on stealth for a lot of things. And being undead is really good. Scything Touch is good. I think he's still like one of the top picks. Fellblood, I think, is also probably a top pick. So he's the one that got Furious Strength, which is the +2 to melee damage rolls for a unit. He also got Fortune. In terms of hit buffs, the only ones in the faction on the Warcasters are Fortune on this guy and Black Spot on Firequill. So I think that's a really big selling point. He buffs hit and damage. He already has Fortify, which is an armor buff, and he has Blur, which is a defensive buff against range. So I think Fellblood will be extremely boring, but he does all of the things that you need to play Warmachine. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see him being I think it's a really good design. He'll be a really good entry-level Warcaster that has a tool for every situation, but like the play style makes me want to fall asleep, so I'm not going to play him.
You mean like because you think it's gonna be boring?
Insanely boring, right? He has 3 upkeeps and a passive buff, and they removed his battle plan. Now he just defaults to always giving Stumbling Drunk within 10 inches of him. So you don't even get to make that choice anymore. So he's just going to sit in the middle of your army, give them all Stumbling Drunk, which is great. He's going to buff the couple units that you want to buff, and he's going to walk forward and like try to swamp your opponent in trolls. And it's probably going to be pretty darn good. But
it's just not your thing.
It just seems it's so passive, right? I don't know. It's not what I want to do.
No, I'm not insulting you. I meant like I get that.
Yeah, and I think people will win and have success with him, but I think it's boring. Right, one last thing. It's my boy War Chief Boggity Bomb.
Poor boy.
Poor Boggity Bomb. So he gained a POW on his weapon. That's nice. It's now POW 14. With the Brogger Animus, he can make it POW 16, but he can't go higher than that. We used to get to POW 17. He gained Firestarter, which is an upkeep that gives a cohort model's weapons continuous fire. I'm not excited about that. He gained Tides of War as well.
His melee and ranged weapons. So you get
melee and ranged weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like it doesn't do anything until your opponent's turn. And then
he went from this really offensive front line, like jump in, kill something, jump out kind of caster to sort of a backline support caster that can also fight if he has to.
Yeah, he was like the coolest frog ninja type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, his frog killing ability went way down, which is like why I'm sad for him.
Yeah.
He got Tides of War, which is a good spell. It gives your cohort models Repo 3.
I'm so jealous.
And it's not bad with Broggers. Like they like Repo 3. It's not bad on the Deepborn Dire Trolls range 10 spray. but it's not very exciting.
I wanted it so bad for Bodan, and he didn't get it.
Yeah. They changed fuel for the flames, so it no longer damages your own models, so that's great. And now it does an additional die to the damage roll instead of +2. So I think that's positive, but the faction just doesn't really have any fire attacks. Like, I don't know. And they changed his feat so that instead of, refueling his fury and giving incorporeal and healing some models, it now gives +2 speed and ghostly. Um, and that's good. Like +2 speed is like unique within the faction, and he's the only threat caster that I think really increases threat ranges in like an easy and meaningful way, especially for infantry. Um, and it's good. It helps him assassinate a little bit better if you want to. But what I liked to do with him is like, kill a colossal and then use the old feat to make sure you could fill up on fury and be safe. And he doesn't do that anymore. So I'm not really feeling these changes. I'll probably play him a little bit because I really like him.
I mean, it's interesting because you were literally the only one that was playing him like that, and it almost feels like they nerfed you.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
I wish they'd just talked to me about like what his like playstyle would be.
Exactly.
Hey, I
And then
have
I
a
would
question for you. You didn't beat anyone from SFG at
Rich.
Nova with him that way, did you?
Oh, I mean, I definitely beat Rich, but like I didn't even really do anything. I don't think Rich had anything to do with this, but yeah, if this is spite, I know.
Okay.
So no, I mean, the changes to Bogdy Bomb were like a pretty sad point for me. I feel like they could have given him insight, and he would have been just fine.
Yeah.
All right, somebody else talk about something.
So who wants to go next? Alec, do you want to do Menoth next, or should I talk about Khador for a little bit?
Why don't you talk about Khador first, and then
I'll
finish out with Menoth.
Okay.
Khador's got a bunch of stuff. So real quick, I'm gonna primarily talk about Winter Court, but I want to just sort of touch on a couple things in Old Umbry, real quick. So Old Umbry, one of the coolest things for Old Umbry is they got 3 mercs added to their army. So Alexia, Queen of the Damned, got added to the army. She did in fact go up to 8 wounds, and she was already 4 points. It looks like. So maybe in the last up she went up to 4 points. She went down from 5 to 4 points. The Animist, which is like the core support solo for the army, went up a point, which feels kind of bad. He went from 2 points to 3 points, so still fairly cheap. But if you need to run 2 of them, like a lot of my lists do, they basically like went up.
Yeah, they're 50%. Like saying run 1 of these. They're saying don't run 2.
Exactly. Yeah. So Bodan got Inviolable Resolve and Earth Spikes, which are both great spells, and he'll probably be able to use them, but they feel more like safe instead of good spells that he could have used for interesting games. I really wish he had gotten Tides of War instead of Earth Spikes, but what can I do?
Man, yeah, he's like kind of the worst choice for Inviolable Resolve, right?
Right, exactly, because he doesn't run a lot of units. He runs a lot of beasts, and sort of like they're trying to force him not to play the ranged assassination way that I was playing him.
Yeah, I can see Earth Spikes being sweet like that. Yeah. That's not that choice kind of makes sense to me. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, with so Alexia, the Koldun Lord. Let's see, what's his name? Why don't I see him? Korovnik, that was worked for Orgoth and Winter Corp is now in the faction, and so maybe with he could cast Earth Spikes. That would be a way to make it work. Put him in that army and have him cast Earth Spikes. I don't know. But I don't know. It seems more safe than interesting. I was kind of hoping for some different stuff there. The Gorger had one change that was really that's kind of interesting. Weakness, which is the thing that makes him that was on the Hornet's Nest. It's one of the effects of the Hornet's Nest. It only affects living models now instead of all models, so that's a
Yeah.
bit of a nerf. Um, and that means that it also only the -2 to attack rolls within 2 inches of him is only 4 living models as well. So that's a
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
a nerf. Galissa, the Galena, the sniper caster, also is kind of weird. Her feat used to be +2 defense and reposition 5 for models in her control range. Now it's +2 defense and reposition 3.
Hmm.
And the only spell she got was Wild Aggression, which is the charge for free and boosted melee attacks for a cohort model.
It's a really good spell.
It's a great
I
spell,
mean,
but once again, she basically didn't change. She would have taken Wild Aggression most of the time anyways. You put it on the Starved
Strix.
with her. Well, probably the Starved.
Mhm.
Because he gets to charge, because she has Hunter's Mark, and he gets to plus charge living and undead models with +2 speed. So he's like threat 10, mat boosted mat 7, or I think he might have gone down to mat 6. But yeah, like I don't know. Once again, it's not that interesting to me.
Her
Mrazov,
feat changed like across the board.
right?
The feats that gave +3 defense now give +2 defense.
Well, hers was always
Um,
+2 defense. It just used to also give reposition 5. Now it's reposition 3.
oh, okay, got it. Okay,
Everything gets
never mind.
reposition 3 instead. So Mrazov got some downgrades. He got Muzzle and Fog of War, which are like, sure. Carnage now costs 3 instead of 2. He got to keep Carnage, which is good.
Yeah. Do you have
Um,
Prowl in the faction, Jay?
not really, no.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think you play him because you really like Carnage, right?
Right. And the shapeshifter changing stuff got it got the way he shapeshifts got clarified a little bit, and then his feat, instead of being +3 to arm and melee damage rolls for shifted, is now +2.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like we never really saw him that much,
I mean,
right? I
I
mean,
was intending to play
he
him as
kind of
like,
came out after the season was over,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm curious why
I mean,
they nerfed him preemptively.
he was going to be probably one of my 2 mainline casters for the season, but we'll see now.
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. And so he does have uh he gives his battle group Righteous Vengeance, which is good, and they cleaned up Righteous Vengeance, so it's just a melee attack. So
Yeah, they cleaned up Vengeance across the game.
right,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. Azanov, I think, is the weirdest downgrade. I think it's because he was so popular, and they sort of decided just to nerf him.
he was quite good. Yeah.
So his arm went from 17 to 16. His sword that was POW 16, POW 18 when he jumped, went down to 15, 17. He gained Windstorm, which is like, and I don't know if people have seen the Windstorm change. It was spoiled in some of the updates that came out, but Windstorm now it costs 2, but Spellcaster gains Warping Winds. So when a friendly faction model is targeted by a ranged attack while within 3 inches of this model, the attack suffers -3 range.
Can you imagine that, like, 2 years ago, Windstorm
No.
was Control, and
No.
now it's 3 inches and it costs more? Or,
Yeah,
well, it costs 1 less, but
it costs 1 less. It's two
yeah.
2 costs. It also gives blast resistance to models within 3.
Yeah.
So weird.
It's still really
Yeah.
good, I
And then
think.
and then he also got Spirit Fang, which is basically a ranged attack spell that reduces defense and movement from the enemy model that it hit. It's one of Yana's base spells.
Yeah, it's interesting on him because he's got
Yeah.
kind of this control feat, right? And
Right.
you could decide to invest in a channeling head and then cast it. I think
Yeah.
you probably won't, but it is an option.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
not even like a channeling. It's a channeling arm for and it's
a
only on the
channeling
heavy
arm.
jack.
Okay.
And it's only on
Yeah.
the heavy jack, which is weird. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
there are ways to use it, but I don't know. Um, I think
It's definitely a tool.
yeah,
It's very situational. Yeah.
I think the most interesting change across the casters is, and what's going to cause me to do a second look is probably Yana. So, and
Yeah.
this is both going to affect both Wintercorp and Old Umbry, and she's like probably the most interesting one of them. So, she got Deathbringers and Windwall. So let's talk about Windwall first. So Windwall is an old Vlad 3 spell. They changed the text a little bit, so I'll just read it. The spellcaster so it costs 3. It's not upkeepable. The spellcaster cannot make ranged attacks after casting this spell. Non-magical range attack targeting her automatically misses. While within 3 inches of the spellcaster, models cannot be targeted by ranged attacks, and non-magical range attacks um, that that so models cannot make while within 3, my models can't make ranged attacks, and non-magical range attacks automatically miss. And so it used to be completely within 3, now it's just within 3. But it basically means like she can move up, throw her spear, trigger her +2 speed and mat for her battle group models, and then pop that up, and make it so that she's sort of protected from ranged, except for magical ranged, which is interesting. But it costs 3, and she's a 6 Fury caster, so and she's got upkeeps, so I don't know. I don't see it being cast a ton.
I mean,
Death,
it's an incredible spell, but it's also
right?
incredibly situational, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
it
But
really
when you need
depends
it, though,
on,
you'll have that option. Like,
yeah.
you might not always need it, but when you need it, you have it. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have to know when to use it, before, so you don't waste it.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna have to. It's gonna depend on, like, you know,
yeah.
it's backbreaking against people that can't deal with it, and that
Right.
people that can, it's useless, right?
Exactly.
It's so
Pretty much.
Yeah.
potential
Yeah.
a high ceiling, for potentially very good.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Deathbringers basically it's a spell she casts, and it gives her battle group grievous wounds on their attacks.
Mhm.
Might just be melee attacks. I forget. I'd have to look it up again.
I think it's probably melee.
It's on what's her name? Makeda 3, I think is what it's from.
Yeah, she's the original, the OG.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So then the other thing that changed about her is her feat. And so her feat used to give everything friendly faction models Pathfinder, and then gave friendly faction models cleave and overtake. And so now instead of cleave, it's just they get +1 attack and overtake. So friendly faction models being their activation and control range get Pathfinder and can make 1 additional melee attack. Then while in her control range, friendly faction models also gain overtake. And so that's pretty awesome, because it means that I can move, attack, and then pick what weapon I want. So I can attack with a different weapon if the model that killed didn't let me to overtake. It's a pretty sweet ability, I think, and I think it's going to be the most interesting thing in these 2 armies.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has play. It's gonna have play in, like, the Chosen of the Witch are gonna love it in Old Umbry, and then I'll talk about what's gonna love it in Wintercorp in a second. So then I think the only other like little things changed, like the Liegemen Ursaean Cavalry lost dual attack and gained assault, which is kind of weird. The Lord of the Hunt. So one of the thing about the Lord of the Hunt was that he can get a lot of extra dice to hit, especially against like character models. And he had critical shred on one of his attacks that would sort of let him keep attacking if he kept critting. So he'd be willing, like, 4 dice drop the lowest or 5 dice drop the lowest to hit. And so he had a good shot of doing that. They just straight up removed critical shred from that attack, which is going to weaken his melee performance a lot. But he did get an additional melee attack, which is something I've wanted for a while, which is basically the pack of wolves around him. It's called
Right?
Ravenous
There's like
Pack
so
Bite.
many wolves on his base. They should
Yeah.
do something.
And it's
Yeah.
a range 1, POW 15, mat 7 attack.
Like,
So
on the whole, probably a buff for this guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they sort of they clarified his trophy hunter. The first one was like if he had one corpse, models within 10 inches of him lost stealth. Now it's models within line of sight of him lose stealth.
Who's stealth?
Wow, that's gonna really like give you some good options.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it always lost stealth. Now it's in line of sight, so it's a little bit of a nerf. So like it's not stuff on the other side of a building or stuff blocked by models.
Oh, I thought I was okay. So
that's crazy. It seems quite
Yeah.
good the way it is now. I can't believe it used to be better. That's funny.
Yeah, and then
we should...
go ahead.
Oh, we should have Alec go before you jump into the other Kador.
Corp.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, sure. I'm doing pretty well with my painting. That's why I was gonna let him keep continuing.
Pretty much. Okay. The only other things to cover with Old Umbry is Resnikova got Lashing Tendrils and Curse of Shadows straight from the rack. Strix went up a point and gained a chain attack that basically is the teleport that
Lord of the Feast and Bodan have.
Well, it's that, but it's on a melee attack, and so he attacks a model and you place in base to base with anywhere in base to base. It's the same thing that Rias had in Mark 1, where she would walk up, hit something, place within base to base, so that you'd put behind it, and then attack something else and could like chain through it. But he only gets to do it once.
Yeah.
And then he went up a point. The last really big change for this faction is the Shearling. So the Shearlings were the goat unit that lets you sort of tank hits. It basically gave you occultation on a goat, on a occultation on a. I could remove a model to cancel a damage roll effectively, and now it's only on melee attacks. So it's sort of like become a melee shield guard.
Kind of like self-sacrifice.
Yeah. So you remove them from play, so when a friendly faction model is directly hit by melee attack while within 3 of model with scapegoat, you can choose to have the model with scapegoat directly hit instead. The model's automatically hit and suffers all damage and effects. The model can use scapegoat only once per round and cannot use scapegoat if it's incorporeal, knockdown, or stationary. It can only be used once per attack, so it's basically a melee shield guard. They also lost the Dark Shepherd lost Live Deliciously, which was a thing that rarely came into effect, but I was going to play a lot in Morozov, which basically gives a shifter +2 speed if they start within, I think, like 3 or 5 inches of him. And that was given to the Dark Sister, who's 5 points. And that unit went down to 4 points. So basically, for me, it basically means that I'm just cutting Shearlings from all my lists.
I can see one. They give you Eyeless Sight, right? Like they do the Fury management.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they still like protecting against melee damage rolls is incredible if you have a range in a melee kind of matchup.
But it means it has to be very, very. I mean, I can see playing it with Aslanov. I can see playing it maybe in Morozov after he's shifted.
Yeah, if you've got a Colossal, it seems pretty darn good for
after
that
he's
Colossal,
shifted,
right?
But like, I don't. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. All right.
To go back a slight step, I think you're just gonna see if you play Galena with Strix, you're just gonna kill people, right?
You think so?
You give Strix the free charge. You give him boosted attacks. She sends him forever already, and then he teleports to the other side of something, and he eats your Warcaster.
The problem is he's only POW 6. He's POW 16 and 2 POW 15s.
Yeah, I mean,
with no way to buff it in her list.
Yeah, it's probably like 4 POW 16s into their caster, which I agree isn't insane, but like
I think Starved
It'll
is
kill
better.
it. If you don't know it's coming, it's gonna kill you.
I don't know.
Like,
I think Starved is probably a better is
oh,
more has longer threat and is a harder hitting model in that case.
yeah. No, I just think you'll catch people unawares with this sometimes, and
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like, you're not gonna win against really prepared people that way, but you can definitely kill people who aren't paying attention.
I yeah. I tried it early on and I didn't have any luck with it. He doesn't hit hard enough except with Morozov. All right, so I think that's it for my coverage of Old Umbry. Alec, you want me to go into Winter Corp, or do you want to talk about Menoth real quick?
I can talk about Menoth a little
All
bit.
right, let's talk about Menoth.
So Menoth, we actually came through those almost completely unscathed. In fact, some of our stuff getting better, which I know to some people is going to be very frustrating. I mean,
Sacrosanct got nerfed.
Sorry.
That's all I care about.
What?
Sacrosanct got nerfed. That's all I care about.
Because it doesn't affect your cohort models.
Right.
Yes.
Just warrior models.
But, okay, that's still a lot of the board.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So it's not going to knock down your warjacks, but
War beast. Yeah.
Okay. Or your war beasts.
Everything. It doesn't knock down everything.
It doesn't. It does knock down a lot of stuff.
It does.
But then let's see. So there was obviously Vengeance. A lot of our stuff was Vengeance. Thank goodness nothing got moved from Prime to Legacy. We did get hit almost straight along the board with going from like Mat 9 to Mat 8 or Mat 8 to Mat 7. Some cool things.
There's a lot of Mat 7 in your faction still. That's awesome.
There is so much Mat 7 in our faction. Yeah. But some of the cool things is we even had point drops. So the Exemplar Errant, Officer, and Standard went from 3 to 2, which I actually think they needed to do.
Nice.
And like they cut Inspiration, don't care. The Officer went from Mat 8 to Mat 7, Rat 7 to Rat 6. Again, I think those are very reasonable to go along. That's still pretty good. Some of the things like Fire of Salvation got adjusted. Elias Gade, the Exemplar Warder, so he lost Prey, but he gained Weapon Master with his crossbow. So now he has Weapon Master on every single weapon.
Nice.
So like, yeah, that's awesome to me. I like the model. I have a couple of them painted. I might paint another one just because it was amusing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
The Judicator got cheaper?
It did.
What the hell?
It dropped a point.
It keeps dropping a point. You're on your campaign to make this thing get better, and it just keeps happening.
And man. The wild thing with that is that this is going to free up between the UA dropping in points and the Judicator dropping in points. I'm going to have more points in both of my Resnick 2 list and in my Krios 2 list. And the crazy thing with Krios 2, his feet didn't get touched. I was so worried they were going to adjust his feet. Mm-hmm. But with everything dropping with Matt, I don't care because
he's still auto hits.
Is just going to go in there and beat face.
And you just auto hit, right?
Too. Yeah.
With an extra attack.
So that's really amazing to me.
In Weapon Masters the Army.
Yeah. I'm really happy with what happened. Like I guess I'm not happy. I'm okay with everything. Like I'm like this is very reasonable. Heck, and so that's with Exemplar interdiction, and then even Temple Guardians didn't get hurt. We got some buffs. And that's something I'm kind of amazed with. Like the Allegiant of the Order of the Fist went from 3 points to 2 points. Again, I think that's reasonable. Now his shifting stance did drop from defense 4 to defense 2, which I'm not super excited about because I really liked him just to sit there on a flag and just contest or on any sort of objective. But again, I'm okay with that because by dropping him by a point, if I take 2 in my list, it's going to free up something else.
Now you get a third, right? Yeah, or you
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome.
So Amon got better. He gained resourceful, and then his union changed the text of union to each warjack in his battle group currently in range gains 3 full focus.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just one before, or like?
Yeah, it was one. So
Mobility and synergy are back on the menu, right? That's great.
Yeah, especially with resourceful, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna cast these things, let them sit there, and I'm just gonna go in.
It looks like
Go ahead.
Hand of Judgment got the improvement that Boggity Bomb got as well for his Fuel for the Flames.
It did. I mean, so Thyra, she got hurt a little bit. But other than that, like I feel like Menoth actually got better, which I'm surprised because I mean, I was getting ready to go to a new faction and stuff, and I still eventually might just because I like the fluff of the faction. But now because of me not being able to necessarily pick up that other faction, I'm gonna be kind of functional with Menoth, which is kind of wild to me because I thought last year was gonna be the last year I played Menoth, and here we are going stronger, gonna be doing
Yeah.
better. And
I feel
that's
like
insane.
Legacy factions just generally they're relatively improved relative to non-Legacy factions. So yeah, I think it's a good year if you want to be a Legacy player, right?
Absolutely. I did not expect that, especially with new Menoth coming at Adepticon. I did not
Mhm.
expect it. And I've known people that are just dumping their Menoth armies on the market. And I'm watching those go for like, or they were going super cheap. And now I wonder how many people are regretting that.
How do you spell New Menoth? How do you
I
spell
call it
new?
And you?
ZUM.
ZU.
I'm gonna do that till till they're released. And like I said, I already got um dinosaur mounts. So when we do get the cav, I'm gonna put them on dinosaurs because it's me. Unless they do the fake out and they do put them on dinosaurs or large lizards.
Hmm. Oh man.
But yeah, that was I was kind of amazed at Menoth, and I was like, holy cow! I thought we were gonna get crushed into the ground, but we didn't.
I would die if they did the fake out. That would be incredible.
Oh, that'd be so like I'd be like, I need to give you all of my money, all of my
Mhm.
non-existent money right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it was funny, like when I was reading all this stuff, I called my wife on her lunch break. And mind you, my wife kind of knows my faction a little bit, but doesn't really, care about it. And I was like, "Oh, this stuff happened. It's amazing." And she's like, "I'm so happy for you, honey. I love you." I was like, "First the Bears and now Menoth." And she's like, "It's your year." I was like, "It is."
Oh
Oh,
man.
but yeah, actually, like I mean, the yeah, it's been wild. And I got 2 pieces painted already on stream, which makes me happy.
Dang, you're getting after it.
I am. I mean, they're not Warmachine pieces; they're from a board game, but they both turned out pretty well, and I'm pretty psyched about that.
Nice.
Man, I'm kind of amazed because if I bring Resnick with the double Judicator list, I'm now going to have an additional 4 points in that list. So what
Oh
else
wow.
comes? Because the errants dropped a point, or the errants UA each dropped a point, so that's 2 points there. And then Judicators, there were 2 of them, so each dropped, so that's 4 points I have to play with. And I was like, I need to actually look at what I'm gonna do, because that was a really tight list with points and everything. I mean, heck,
Man,
even my
you could cut
trios
a
list is
solo
pretty.
and get a full unit now, right? Like
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
it's it's one of those things like I'm gonna have to relook at those lists, especially because we have the February league coming up for 5-player, and I think people are gonna have to really be careful on who plays into me and what they play, because
Yeah.
I might
I
be able
hope
to
you're
show
ready to
up
be a
and maybe.
first drop, right? Like,
Oh, whoa,
you
whoa!
know,
I'm sure. I'm the bad. Like, you drop me in as like, oh god, no one wants to pair against this, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay being the anchor man. If I'm
yeah.
the first drop, oh no, that would be.
No, it's good if you're the first drop, right? You give them the hard question that they don't know how to answer, and then like we
That
lead from there, right?
I
Yeah.
guess so. I mean, the number of people who still, after so many years going into Mark IV, still don't know how to deal with Menoth.
Yeah, I think you're
Like,
gonna take advantage of them.
I mean, it's happened at Nova 2 years in a row where people are like, shoot, you're playing Menoth? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I'm sorry. I do. I play against your faction all the time.
Time.
Oh, man.
All
Yeah.
right,
So
Jay, you want
this,
to bring us home? You wanna
Yeah,
do the other
let me talk
one?
about Winter
Yeah.
Corp. So Winter Corp is in a weird spot. They so their defenses are really low across the faction. There are a couple things that are defense 13, but for the most part, I'm like defense 10 or defense 12. And so even though everyone's gotten their mat and rat and ATTs reduced a lot, still gonna be hitting me on 4s, on 5s, or 6s a lot of the time. And so, and even with like ARM 22, ARM 20, ARM 22, with the increase of POW across the board for most things that got, they're still gonna just kill me in droves. And the only way that my stuff survives, like for example, Joe and I played today, and I played a little 50-point game against JD beforehand, and the the Wrecking Crew guys, I didn't lose all of them, but I lost all but one, and that one's had damage on him. And so there's still not enough left alive to be able to really be super effective. Yeah, I can contest things. Yeah, I still have a Grievous Wound guy. He gets to advance 3 inches, but my army's not really survivable per se. But at the same time, I think all the casters got a lot better, and
Yeah.
some of and the support that was given to some of the units that really needed it to make them threat better really makes the army kind of interesting. You're going to be killing me and you're going to be hitting me, and if you have the POW and you can roll well, you're just going to remove me from the table. But if you don't, I'm going to hit you back really, really, really hard, and I actually have some decent threat. So I don't think we've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. I probably want to spend about 15 minutes talking. So let's just talk about that. There's a bunch of just like little changes that make the army kind of interesting. So Sakura, for example. So Sakura is basically, she's where you're going to see mana wars. You might still see suppressors in a couple places with other casters, but the majority of the mana wars are going to get taken with her. And the reason that is that she lost her battle plan was cut that used to give desperate pace to mana wars, and now just while within 10 inches of her, mana wars are +2 speed, including herself, which is great. Now, what does that mean? All mana wars are effectively threat 10 with her in melee. In fact, her whole army is basically threat 10. But it's a little deceptive because Wrecking Crew has Vengeance. So they really, if you damage them and they're able to move, their models are still alive after you've done some damage to them, they'll effectively threat 13. And she has Avenging Force, which makes one model in her battle group +3 speed. So either she'll speed up and I think she threats, with the +2 buff, she threats 12, or could threat 15 with Avenging Force, or one of her jacks, either the could, instead of being threat 10, could be threat 12 or 13. Like Behemoth could be threat 13, which is pretty good.
Yeah. And you can't really play around Avenging Force, right? Like
Right.
your opponent is going to have to trigger it. There's no way to
Right.
play the game and not kill it and not damage your warrior
Right.
models.
Yep.
And so between her +3 and the mechanics, sure you're going to talk about this, but the mechanic gives +2. Like
Well,
she can really launch a jack a long ways if she wants
yeah,
to.
a large base jack a long way. The mechanics benefit doesn't affect Behemoth or the Colossal.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's a large base or
And she has
smaller.
positive charge too, so she kind of
Right.
wants things that are more budget oriented, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah. So she also got Dauntless result. So she her axe went up to POW 16, which is nice. She gained steady and sturdy, so she's a true man of war. And she got Dauntless Resolve and Frostbite. So Dauntless Resolve is an old Signar spell. It basically gives +3 armor and tough to a unit. So those Man of War Wrecking Crew or Arm 23, Arm 25 with her feet because her feet gives unyielding. But as it happened in both of my games today, it basically just got Hex Blast off it before it mattered. So
Yeah,
there
opponents
isn't a
who
way
can't
to
do that are going to
right
be
tearing their hair out, but
really struggling.
right,
Like, oh,
yeah. And then Frostbite is it's a little spray 8 that has crit stationary if you're not immune to cold. And it actually came into play. I didn't think it was going to be something I cast very much, but it actually allowed me to remove a unit of Marauder Crew.
because we played a deep 6-turn game where, like,
Yeah,
you got to scrap at the end, right?
pretty much.
That's when your shitty sprays become pretty exciting. Yeah.
So another cool thing that happened with that sort of this group is the Wrecking Crew. So their Ram Piston used to have crit smite. It got removed and is now just star attack smite. And so Joe pointed out something where if you have a medium base or smaller enemy model, you can actually just like slam that model into one of the other models in the unit because they have large bases and they're steady. They're not going to be knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
And or even
It's true for if they're a large base model too, right? Like,
yeah. But you get an extra die if you run into them if they're small or medium base.
Oh, okay.
For damage.
Yeah.
And it's POW 14, which is cool. Or you can use their POW 14 Grievous Wounds weapon, and Vengeance is just still good with them. The controller is a surprisingly good piece.
Oh, this thing got so cool.
Yeah. So it lost Matt and Rat like everybody else, so it went to Matt 5, Rat 5. It gained a tune-up, which is the thing that was cut off the mechanic. And it gained Repair D3+3, which are great abilities. But then it got this cool. So it's always had this rule where when it moves, if it ends within an inch of defense, it can then pick the defense up and place it within an inch of it, so you can sort of move the defense along with you. But you had to have the defense on the table. And now it has a special rule. It got a special rule called Fabricated Defense. So once per game during its activation, this model can place a barrier, fire trap, powder keg, or spike trap defense while within 1 inch of this model. And it doesn't count as an action. And so he basically can just like walk up and put a wall in front of your caster and himself. And then for the rest of the game, he can walk his 4 or 6 inches. And as long as he ends with an inch of that wall, he can grab it and put it back in front of himself. Which is kind of funny.
It's hilarious. And man, you just scratched the surface of that, right? Like, are there restrictions on where you can place it? Or can you place
it has to be within an inch of him.
Yeah, I mean, you could bring defenses and put spike traps out,
right.
and then he could fill in the gaps in the spike traps. Like,
right.
all the places you can't put defenses where you want to, he could put them in.
Yep.
Like, if you had 2 of them, you could build like a 20-inch wall of spike traps. Yeah, that sounds sick.
It's pretty silly, pretty interesting. And on top of this, and it might be an error, but we played it as it is. His spray 10 didn't go down to spray 8 like most stuff that was spray 10. And his spray 10 auto stationaries. And so with Crawl, who gained veteran leader Man of War, when he aims, he has a spray 10 Rat 8 that does work.
It seems really good.
Yeah,
and you can aim too, like get that.
He has Jack Marshall and he has a bunch of special rules. Like he's he's really a really great utility, 4-point utility solo. That's defense 10, arm 19, and has 10 damage boxes, and it's a Manowar, so steady, sturdy, bulldoze, all that fun stuff, blast resistance, all that fun stuff. And then Sergeant Crawl is the last piece of this package. He's the guy that would give Manowars within 10 of him tough. Basically, he got Veteran Leader Manowar, so all the Manowars lost a mat or a rat. He gives it back to them, so they're well within 10 of them. They're mat 7, rat 6, like they used to be. He lost Jack Hunter, but his grenade pods got brutal damage, so they're POW 15s on direct hits, which is pretty nice. The Bison.
And he's rat 6?
He's rat 6, yes. He has a 8-inch range harpoon that if he does damage, it pulls a model to him. Then he has a POW 15 Grievous Wounds melee attack as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Manowars, you'll play him, right?
Yeah. He's
just for the inspiration, and
right.
It's nice that he does a bunch of cool shit on top of that.
Yeah. Interesting. The Bison got nerfed a little bit. Its mat went down. Its range went down to 12. Its speed went down to 6, so it effectively lost 3 inches of range. But in return, it went down from 10 to 9 points, which is nice. As Joe was saying, the battle mechanic lost tune-up and Jack Hunter, but it gained a special action called Overdrive. Range 3, target friendly faction, large based or smaller warjack gains +2 speed for 1 turn. So it used to give Pathfinder and like stand models up, stand warjacks up, and now it gives them +2 speed. And the controller instead has tune-up, so he can give them Pathfinder and stand them up. The Direwolf got a lot of nerfs, and pretty much the thing to know about the Direwolf is that it used to be this like ranged platform that was decently good compared to other stuff. It was a little faster. It had a little bit more defense, and it was sort of like your utility. It was your main shield guard thing in the army. And now all of its heads went down a point. So like the evasive head and the shield guard head now cost 0 points, which are great. But its rat went down to 4. Its defense went down to 10. Its guns lost volume fire and got volley fire, so they're boosted against warrior models, and you can't really use them against
the change of what they're good at, right?
Yeah. They had a gun that was really good. That was basically like a boostable suppressor gun, and it went down to range 8. There's a lot of change that just isn't really good.
Well, you haven't you have to see how it's going to work in the new system. Like it's not going to work the same it was, but it might change.
So volley fire is better than it's ever been, right? Because it's
if you want to target warrior models, if this Jack in when I played it previously, its primary target was light warjacks and heavy beasts, and that it can't really do that anymore because it used to be able to boost, was really good against those kind of things, but now that it's rat 4 and range 8, it's kind of bad.
Well, I know, but I meant that I think they're just trying to adjust it might not be how you played it.
So it basically just is a 10-point shield guard bot. That's effectively what it is. It can be a 9-point shield guard bot, but it's nice to have arm 21 and the shield so yeah. Pretty much. So its ranged threat that it used to have is basically gone, and so you probably aren't going to use it for that role anymore. So the Great Bear, a bunch of its main weapons got cheaper. I didn't really use this at all the second half of 2024, and I didn't really play Winter Corp in 2025. Most of it's good guns and it's good stuff got were heavily nerfed in 2025. and I don't know if the point drop is enough. The heavy cannon went down 2 points, so it went down from 8 to 6 points. It's still only range 12, so I don't know. Speed 4, range 12, so 16-inch threat for a jack that's probably like 12 or 13 points. Probably, I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I don't really play Borisuke, which is the caster that it would come up in.
Can we go back to the Direwolf?
Sure.
Okay. So you play Shield Guard, that's 0.
Right.
Right, that's free now.
Yep.
You choose Cannon, Ice Hammer, or Long Hacks. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, right? You choose
Ice
one
Hammer,
of them.
pretty much.
So
yeah.
it costs 5 now. Yeah, it costs, and then you take Plow Shield.
So 10 points.
So it's now a 9-point jack.
10 points. Plow Shield went up to 5.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yeah, it gained 1. So
Yeah.
the 10-point Shield Guard defensive build that I had, it went down a point in the head, but up a point in the shield, so it's still 10 points.
Yeah. I mean,
So I get what you're saying, but I compare that to like a Crusader, and it beats the Crusader in every category.
Except for power of its weapon, I don't know.
Special abilities, like it has better armor. Like I look at that and I'm like, you're still beating a majority. Like it's not as good as it was, but you're still beating a majority.
How many points is a Crusader? Crusader's like what, like 9 points?
I thought they were 10. Hold on.
They used to be. I think they're cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I wish it was 9, but
Yeah.
there's a place for a cheap model
Yeah.
that sits in a zone and
I
it's
mean,
like, this thing is legit tanky, right? It's armor 21 with 30
Yeah.
boxes.
You
And it
saw it
says,
today
like-
against it's the second jack that your Colossal killed in one go.
Yeah, well, you fed him to him. But like,
Right.
I mean, I think, there's a place for that like cheap contesting Colossal that takes a cheap contesting model that or scoring potential
Yeah.
model that like, initiates
But
a
it has
good
a
beat
shield
trade.
guard though. That's the other thing, is the shield guard with
Yeah.
the high armor. So not only is it going to be able to take the hit,
But
but it
it's-
also the hit's probably not going to affect it. Like when
I
I
mean-
take a shield guard, it's going to normally kill the piece that's
Right.
shield guarding.
But it's
You
my
can take
only
the hit.
besides Metavista, it's the only shield guard in the faction in the army.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly wouldn't
The
take
Crusader's 9 points.
2
by the
of
way.
these.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
I
Joe's
could
right.
I could see one of them and you just use it to start the attrition,
Yeah.
right? It sits in the zone, it threatens to score it.
I mean, it's not
Can you
bad.
kill it for
It's
something
not
less
bad,
than 10
but
points? I
it's
don't
not
know.
bad.
Yeah.
Is it interesting? No, it's not.
Okay, yeah, I agree it's
Oh,
boring.
that's fair. It is.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
arguing
I
that
would
it's not
take
boring.
1 or 2 of them already in most lists, and so it's a 10-point tax to give me shield guard, effectively. It's a jack that's
Well, but
good.
it also
That's
can
okay.
contest,
It's
like-
not great. With positive charge on Sakura, it's a little bit better. If you take one with Vilcool has superiority, so it can be a little faster and hit a little bit better. I mean, there's options for it. I mean, like, you're gonna take one with. I mean, most casters are gonna take one because it's your main defensive tech piece for
Actually-
anti-shooting in the army.
Man, they're kind of gross with Sakura. Like, you could have had 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like, it's a lot
I
of
coulda had-
beef. They
I
hit
coulda
pretty
had-
good with her.
I could have had
Like-
3 of them instead of
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
Yeah.
Behemoth is 23 points, so I could have had 3 of them.
And you
But I
got
mean,
3
think about
points to do
this, though.
something else with. Yeah.
3
You're gonna
points
be
to
able
spend
to
on
do
something else,
things. You're looking at just like, oh, it's going to be a beat stick. It's more on, it's going to be able to allow you to affect scenario play because it can sit there and still at 10 points contest.
Alec,
Or
it's
score.
a jack that I've played with for 2 years now. It'll be if I play Winter Corp this year, it'll be for 3 years. I've played it exactly the same way: shield, hammer, shield guard. It's this exact same 10 points that it was this past year. I'm just saying that it didn't get anything interesting, and the way that the jack used to, you could modify it 2 points and make it interesting, is no longer a thing. Is what I'm trying to say. What I'm putting out there. The 10-point
Okay.
version of the Jack it's still going to hold objectives. It's not going to survive a dedicated melee heavy, because it's now defense 10. It'll be arm 21 if it has chain weapon. It's arm 19. But it's a good reliable 10-point Jack, and it's good. But it used to have some like, well, maybe I want to give it a gun so that it can threaten some stuff and support my range stuff in a ranged shooty army. It can't. It's not really an option to do that anymore. It doesn't have volume fire,
Yeah,
and
it's a shame when you're
and it's
looking to
Rat
say,
4.
like, how can I possibly make
Right.
this thing as cheap as possible, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, I
Right.
get that.
I mean, basically, like, I dropped the shield, so I can't even drop the shield. I mean, 10 is its base cost because um, the chain axe that used to be the 3-point arm is now 5 points. So like, it's gonna be 10 points no matter what.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just isn't interesting. Like, it's fine.
Do you think the axe should have gone up in points, or do you think that was they're trying to encourage you to play the shields?
I mean, I feel like that. I mean, I think there's a weapon that might be 4, so you might be able to make it 9 points, but I don't know off the top of my head. So like I was saying, the Great Bear, people have to play with it. They'll have to see. There's a lot of other options that have sort of taken its place, but a lot of them got worse. So like the Avalanche was speed 5 and could speed itself up, and it still can speed itself up, but it went down to speed 4. It's mat 6. So it depends on if you can build a cheap version of the Great Bear, and I just haven't played with it. So let's talk about
Heavy cannon looks better at 6 points, and
Yeah.
now that knockdowns are a lot better than they used to be because
Yeah.
of
I mean,
a defense buff.
It was a great gun when it was range 16. Now that it's range when it went to range 12,
16? Oh my gosh.
in 2024 it was range 16, and so it threat it threat 20. You could knock stuff down.
That's
but
ridiculous.
Then it went to range 12 and stayed at 8,
Like...
and then it went to cost 8 but range 12, and it was just completely worthless. And now it's 6 points, and so it might be better. I think like the Colossal with 2 of them is better than 2 separate ones. Maybe I don't know.
You could still get repo with it, right? So it is kind of like range 15.
Yeah. I don't know. So
I think you're right. No one knows what's going to be good here.
Right.
Like,
I just don't. Yeah. I'd have to look at it, and I'd have to see what I could build that would be worth putting on the field. It is a speed 4 Jack that has. I mean, it charges for free, but it's a speed 4 Jack, and the only you could either take a battle mechanic to give it +2 speed, so it could be speed 6. But that's a 2-point tax that you're adding onto it. And Vilcool is the one that got superiority, so it only would matter with Vilcool for that. Talking about their casters a little bit, they have some pretty cool caster updates. So like Baranova got a lot of cool stuff. I just don't know how it's gonna affect her necessarily. Like, so she got Tempest from the rack. She got Veil of Mists and Occultation, and her arc went up to 8, and her control went up to 16. So they sort of forced her into being the spellcasting caster instead of the support buff caster that she had sort of become.
He feels a little bit like a Shadow Quill. Shadow Tongue? Fire Tongue. It's one of those.
Shadow Tongue. Yeah. Yep. I mean, she has Gallows already. She's very much sort of like Shadow Tongue now. Her feet is bigger, and so the with the control 60-inch control, and so she'll affect more of the enemy army with it. I just don't. I used her as a strong buff caster, and her as an offensive spell caster. I just don't know how she'll play. I mean, like, she has Field Marshal Arc Node, and so all of her jacks are Arc Nodes. So it'll be interesting to see what you can do with her. Boris Uke got Snipe and Wield Secrets, which is interesting. Wield Secrets gives Prowl and Pathfinder to a model unit. Snipe, it's the first time we've had Snipe. It's +3 range. I see myself, if I play Boris Uke, I'm going to play the Colossal with him. But, I mean, you could also play Behemoth.
He loves the snipe. There's no doubt.
Yep. And his gun went to rate of fire from Reload 1. It lost Reload 1 and just went to rate of fire 2, which is nice. So then, do you guys have any thoughts about Boris Uke?
I don't know him well enough.
Yeah, right. So his feat gives boosted attack rolls, and if you kill a model in the battle group can move 2 inches. So
and
then
make any attack or a melee attack?
Any attack.
Okay. So bring a lot of firepower at range.
Yeah, he's basically my ranged caster, and so you take a bunch of the ranged jacks. He's the most likely to take ranged great bears, or in my case, I'll probably take the Colossal with him and put snipe on him. He's the caster that has crit armor pierce and crit grievous wounds on his ammo types.
Nice.
The ranged caster, so rate of fire 2. He's pretty interesting. He's a potential caster if I play Winter Corp. We talked about Yana. She's really interesting. Vilcool got Fog of War and Superiority, which is interesting.
This makes sense for her.
Yep.
Superiority, pretty good.
Yeah. And Superiority got turned back so that anything can have it. So if you put the Colossal with her, you can give it to the Colossal. Or Behemoth. It's just friendly faction instead of XL or smaller, like it was changed in 2025. Severin, I think, is one of the ones that I'm most interested in. So he kept his kept 3 of his 4 spells. So previously he had Escort, Icy Grip, Rock Wall, and Tides of War. And so he cut Icy Grip, and then he got 3 Arusk spells, and Arusk is his hero, and in the fluff.
Okay.
So he got Fire for Effect, which is an Arusk 2 spell. It gives it's an upkeepable spell that gives the Warjack a boost, an extra die on its first attack and damage rolls. I think drop the lowest maybe. He got Airburst, which is ignores line of sight, control. It basically is an AoE 3 8/8, so it's good at killing support in his control range. And then he got Iron Flesh, which is the +2 armor and resistance to blast. So then the other change to him, which is interesting, so he has battle plans. One of his battle plans is called Kill Order. So what used to
it is the battle plan.
Right.
The number 1 Rusk battle plan.
How it used to work is that you pick an enemy model within 10 of Severin, and my friendly models within 10 would get +2 to hit that model on attack rolls. Now, I pick an enemy model within 10. Friendly faction warrior models gain +2 to attack damage rolls against the chosen model unit. Kill order lasts 4 rounds. So it's anywhere on the table, my models get +2 to damage against the thing I kill ordered. Which is an interesting change.
Yeah, makes them a little bit easier to use, right?
Yep.
I
still have to get within 10 of it, so I'm still threatening myself. But my stuff, when attacking it from whatever range, gets to...
It's ready to go, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can be all over the map.
Right. So I think the last big changes, so Razor went down a point, Metavista went up 2 points, but got beat back on her claws and Righteous Vengeance, which is interesting. So she has both Righteous Vengeance and what's the other one that she has?
The one that gives her +2 mat and melee damage rolls. I think it's really cool design.
Yep.
She's gonna come from downtown. She provides a shield guard. She provides a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
We'll see if she's worth 17 points.
She did
But
go down to
like,
speed 4 and from speed 5, so like, I don't know.
But I mean, she can get +2 from your mechanic, right?
Right. Yeah. So the last there's 3 more things in the army that I want to cover. So the shock troopers. So the shock troopers have just not really been worth it because they've been 5 wounds and they're really slow and so both units were 7 points. So they've now both gone to 8 points. The reason they've gone to 8 points is they got the shock trooper gunners went to 8 health, and the pikemen went to 8 health. They got their blasting pike reduced to POW 13, but they have flank warjack, so they'll get +2 to hit and extra die of damage against warjacks. But they lost combined melee, and so they're tankier. They're still speed 5, so they still threat 10. The gunners are interesting because they have rate of fire 2. They kept their rat 6.
They didn't lose their rat. They didn't lose their range, which is really important.
2 spray 8 POW 13s, or they can do 1 POW 17, which is really cool. So now
they were good before, and they didn't lose offensive stats, so I think they're winners. Like,
I think they're pretty good, and especially with so I guess there's 2 more, 4. I want to talk about 4 more things. So there's the two things with shock troopers. The Winter Corps officer got desperate pace. It is the thing I've been asking for since like Mark IV started. Desperate pace gives a small or medium based Winter Corps unit within 5 +2 speed during their normal movement this turn. So effectively, the gunners go to speed 7, the pikemen go to speed 7, the spikemen threat 12, 13 with Yana because she has dash. The gunners can move 8 and spray 8, so they threat 16. I mean, it's an amazing thing, and they still kept the Pathfinder, and they kept the reroll attacker damage roll ability as well. So the Winter Corps officer was a great change for the officer. He did lose dodge and had his mat cut by 1, and I'm pretty sure
it's a huge buff. Like 2 speed is enormous.
So the +2 speed is amazing. It doesn't affect mana wars because it's small and medium base. So it's sort of designed to affect the other stuff in the army. They still are good to take with mana wars because of the other abilities. They give Pathfinder and things. So now the last thing. The last thing that I want to talk about is the Winter Corps Standard Bearer. So there are people. So there are armies in the past that people have taken the Winter Corps infantry, and thought that they were good because like Severin could give them shield guard, or you could take 2 machine guns and CRA, and combined ranged with the volume fire guns, which they can't do anymore. But the Winter Corps Standard has they lost inspiration and they lost granted rise. Instead,
what is this ability?
They have an ability called Human Wave. During your maintenance phase, return all destroyed grunts in this unit to play. Place the return grunts within 2 inches of this model. Return grunts must forfeit their movement combat action this turn. They are returned to play. So basically,
wow.
I mean, there is a thing here. So a grunt is the basic infantry guy, and so every unit's going to have 2 specialists that this won't affect. But all the grunts have take up, and so as long as they're around, if you're killing the guns, they're taking them up, and then the grunts are coming back, and then so they're going to be able to keep the special weapons on the table for a while.
That is.
It's a silly ability. I think it's.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not sure. Like it's going to be good.
It's going to be really good.
I mean, they're a 13/13 unit. I'm pretty sure. let's see.
I can't
They're-
even imagine. Your opponent's going to
Yeah.
fail to kill one of them. It's
Right.
going to happen
Yeah,
all of us,
The
right?
standard-
and they're
the
all
stand-
going to come
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That's happened with cricks. I've done
Yeah.
that with new cricks where I'm trying to kill them and I don't
Right.
get all of them,
But-
and then
but
they
they-
start coming back. You're
The
gonna do
funny
same
thing is that I'm not bringing them back like with a res. They just pop back up on the table.
They just show back up.
Right.
Right? They just rise off the ground and
Right.
pick the rifles back up.
It's so weird. It's very thematic for Russian infantry during World War I and World War II.
I mean, it's very Stalingrad, right?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
When the last man,
Yeah.
when the guy in front of you dies, pick up his rifle and go forward,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like,
no, but with this, it's like you're going to grab the farmer that's next to you who's not involved, and you're like, hey, here, you're going to help now.
Right. I mean,
And that's, yeah, I love that idea. That's a lot of fun.
It's silly and interesting, but like, there's got to be some list that someone plays that takes big advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the quote. The first man gets the rifle, the second gets the ammunition,
Right.
and the first is killed. The second takes the rifle and shoots. Like,
Right.
Dude, that was Stalingrad, man.
Yup, man.
God, what was the movie? Oh, Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy at the Gates. Yeah, that's Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Incredibly fluffy.
Right.
It's going to be so painful to play against.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't
but,
even know what this unit does.
like-
I've only seen them on the table a couple of times, but like, man.
they have a rocket that's good against jacks. They have a machine gun that's D3 volume fire that used to be able to combine CRA but can't anymore. And they have a grenadier guy that gives the whole unit grenades that they can throw. And the grenadier.
Okay, this is the kind of thing that's probably going to be busted.
Yeah,
Like,
and the grenadier got
we
pick
talk
up.
about stuff that's like not well balanced. This is it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
man.
And then there's like regular shooting, the standard bearer, and the standard bearer got a point cheaper. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's a cool ability. I'm gonna try it out for sure. It could be really interesting for like scoring things or
Can you give them
constantly
reposition at
contesting.
all?
Sakura. If I take them with Sakura can give tactical supremacy.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. Like,
Yeah.
it lets you put a couple in. They constantly are coming back. It's really hard to kill the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so the standard bearer, it has to be the standard bearer that they has to be alive to put them back in.
Mhm.
And they have to go to the standard bearer. So if you kill the standard bearer and there's no one there to pick it up, then the ability goes away.
Yeah, you saw how I did the Marauder crew tonight, right? With the repo, and you can just do that every single turn, and they all come back, and like, man.
Yep. It's an interesting ability.
With that, I think that's gonna be really cool.
It's an interesting ability. All right, so I think we've covered the couple of things that we were primarily going to think about. Joe, do you want to talk about scoring at all, or should we wait for another cast?
I will talk about them in 3 minutes. So,
Okay.
Things that are awesome. In Western Reaches, the Carracks got 2 points cheaper, and they lost a little bit of offense, but I always thought they were already really good, and now they're like 1 point per model and insanely hard to remove. Going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jalam's feat still removes a full dice from your opponent's attack rolls. Like, one of the few defensive feats in the game that didn't get like downgraded. That dude is money. The Hydra got an additional speed, and a point decrease, and I think that's great. Really excited. I liked the Hydra already. Pretty darn excited to play it more. On the Exalted side of things, for some reason the Immortals are still Mat 7.
Wow.
I don't know. I blame Acres. Like, they shouldn't be Mat 7. Like, but they absolutely are, and so they're going to be really good. You know, you can imagine Mordekar playing an incredibly grindy game with them and making people really sad. You can imagine Beastmaster Zakar doing the same buff kinds of things that he always did to them. I mean, Scorn absolutely looks better than it used to be. Like, so, you know.
So do you think that's
hard not to play
Acres
them?
got bored of Harusk, and he wanted to go back to his true love.
Look, man. I
That's a
mean,
joke.
people are humans, right? And I think when it comes to these playtesting
I mean-
processes, they lobby for the things that they love, and nobody loved Boggity Bomb, but Akers loves Exalted, and so it got good things.
Akers played Scorn at WTC last year, so
He played it most of the year.
Yeah.
And no shade on him. He's a really good player.
yeah, absolutely.
I think
Oh,
they're
no,
like
I was just teasing.
they're all fine. I think the changes are fine, but I think Exalted are still quite good.
Do you think Do you think Scorn is gonna pull you away from Brine Bloods, or do you think you're gonna stick with Brine Bloods?
I'm gonna play Brine Bloods at least for Adepticon because I've spent so much goddamn time painting them.
Yeah.
And I want to show them off.
Yeah.
And I love that part of
Boker
it.
too, or do you think you might switch to Scorn for Boker?
I might honestly play Scorn. Like, they just seem really good. They're such a good army in a team tournament environment. People still don't know what they do. Like,
yeah,
for all the reasons that Menoth good, Scorn are good. And yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll probably be back in 2 or 3 weeks. I have some a dental surgery coming up in 2 weeks, and so I'm not going to be probably talking much for about a week.
Good luck, Jay.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It happens. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us on our links down below in our link tree. This has been Jay.
And Alec.
And Joe.
Thanks for tuning
Bye.
in. Bye.